Tell you what, let's turn our attention to what happened at the Woodland Stadium in what was dubbed as the main event. City of Lusaka taking on Lusaka Dynamos in what was dubbed as the Lusaka Derby. Let's have a look at the two selections made by Hector Chilombo and Patrick Piri ahead of this one. So for Lusaka Dynamos, did what they like doing. 4-1, 4-1, they went. Of course, that midfield trio will be ever so important in this game. But for Hector Chilombo, something reminiscent of what we're seeing in the Chikwanda era is probably maybe the instructions at the Pep and Finash that will probably be tweaked with. 4-1, 4-1 as well. Roy Sakwanda leading the line there. Let's get into Lusaka Dynamos play out. Yes, it was a derby game away from home for Lusaka Dynamos, but they were playing out and they were confident side on the ball. So there's Eric Kabulu on the ball, and then you've got Lee Addy there making space quite all right for it to be possible for them to actually play out. But there was that subtle press on the part of City of Lusaka that was somewhat forcing Lusaka Dynamos to actually go wide and not central and not get Port Fazulu and Marvin Jere in this game, Arthur.
You look at this City of Lusaka side, it has got very exciting players. But again, with the experience of coach Hector Chilombo, I think what he did was to go at them like giving them enough space for them to play. Because when you look at the Lusaka Dynamo side, they've got a very good players who can dictate play in the midfield, both for Sidin Kalume, the captain, Kretas Chotachama. But if you give them enough respect for them to detect their play, you'll be chasing shadows.
Okay, talking about chasing shadows, let's look at what Saddam Yusuf Piri and Clement Mundia, what effect they had on the game, and just basically their movements of Yusuf Piri and Clement Mundia. Now, Vespa, look at this. What do you do when the two central midfielders of your opponent are actually making runs into the wide areas, reminiscent to what we're seeing in the earlier kickoff at the very same venue? And then you've got Morgan Kauma running into the half space. But the strategic role that Roy Sakwanda is actually playing there, just babysitting and keeping Eric Kabulu and Lee Addy very busy. What do you think of Hector's tactics going into this game?
Yeah, because of late, if you've watched the City, because I've watched most of their games they've played, they've been scoring, I think, 2 to 3 goals. So if you look at that team which is scoring such goals, then it's a good team. Maybe the problems may be lacking, maybe the organization in defense or maybe in the midfield. But if you look at the way they play in their attack and their organization in attack, I think they are almost there. Having a new coach also, I think it has maybe pushed them up because they are not like the way they were playing before.
Okay, now Arthur, I'm just thinking, you're in that game and your name is Marvin Jere and Port Fazulu. The issue of tracking those players who are running wide, and if you follow them, you leave space in the central areas. What do you do?
As the most important thing in football is to keep shape. Because if you start playing according to the way the opponents are playing, then you lose shape, and at the end of the day, you end up conceding goals.
Okay, let's look at the transitional duos. It was an interesting game in that Lusaka Dynamos had, a lot of incentive. You win this game, you go top of the table again. Now, look at those central duos, and we talk about the ability of players to actually come back and defend becomes very important. Now, look, Cletus Chamachot had very little defensive liability. There he is teaming up with Marvin Jere and Port Fazulu against Richard Piri. Now, because Saddam and Clement Mundia are playing very expansive football, Vespa, now there's something to do with recovery. And because of that, he's running inside and he's forcing Gerard Chikwanda, who's ideally supposed to be man marking him, the choice of should I follow him between the lines or should I stay in position and maintain shape like Arthur is putting it?
Of late, Zambian football, I'm very happy that you have even mentioned that we have players who are now trying to run away from a defender and maybe get a ball from an angle, which is good to our players, especially that they will avoid having injuries. Because of late, we've been having players who are receiving the ball when the defender is behind him. So I think we are moving forward, especially seeing a team like Lusaka Dynamos now today that is even leading the table. It means there is a lot of motivation now to other teams which are even coming from Division 1. Look at their attack. I'm sure Patrick Piri he has a lot of work, yes, to make sure that the team gets moving, especially that they should be winning in each game they meet. But I was happy with their organization, especially in attack, because you have players who can keep the ball. They keep the ball. The next thing he knows, maybe he can pass, maybe he can move with the ball, he can shoot. No wonder maybe they are getting goals.
All right, so the Zambian winger today is different from chalk line player playing the line. Go and put in that cross. It's about moving and varying your positions, which is probably a good development for our game.
Yes, because like the coach is saying, when you like keep the line, the defender, you give him ideas of how to mark you. But when you go inside the midfield to get the ball from there, the defender won't know where to go. He will try to keep shape. Should I keep shape? Should I follow him? The most dangerous thing is when you follow him, because you'll be leaving space behind you and that space will be exploited.
And provided your opponent actually sees it.
Yes, and no wonder when you look at most matches in the league, there's a lot of position football in the midfield, because most of the midfielders wingers are getting the midfield to play in the midfield.
Okay, let's just have a look at the City of Lusaka captain Roy Sakwanda, actually an important player for this team. Him playing as a target man, and whilst Hector Chilombo's men would actually get back from 2 banks of 4 and have a fifth man in midfield to actually win the duels there. Look at what happens in transition. They win the ball there. Roy Sakwanda is the top man against 2 players, not 3, 2. That's Eric Kabulu and Lee Addy, and you've got that space in the wide areas, and that's where the City of Lusaka midfielders are putting the ball in the space to the feet of Roy Sakwanda. Isn't it somewhat disappointing that maybe the captain did not get goals or did not actually account for any assist in this game, Vespa?
Yeah, Zite, if you look at the City captain, a very good player, but sometimes he's overdoing it. No wonder if you look at him, sometimes you think maybe he's tired because of what he does. Sometimes, yes, you are a good player, you can run with the ball, you can dribble, maybe with good shots, but with the help of colleagues in the team, because of the system, what the coach has told you to do, maybe try if he can try to play with his colleagues sometimes. I'm sure he can be getting even a hat trick in each game.
Okay, talking about chance creation, City of Lusaka actually created a lot of opportunities that actually should have seen them score and probably not lose this game. But here are the warning shots. Now, even before Clement Mundia scored that equalizer, Arthur, look at how many times he shot just on the edge of the area and making the same run he was making. Now, if he doesn't shatter into the wing, he's running central, and of course, it's stuck in the mind of Marvin and Potfa. Should I follow? Should I maintain shape? 1, 2, 3 times he won. One time he got the goal there, and of course, Yangileni Tembo actually scored from that position. You also had the defensive midfielder Richard Peary actually shooting there. Now, Those are good opportunities, Arthur. Why are we talking about a loss?
It all comes up to technique. See, it's not just shooting for the sake of shooting. You shoot on target, like the second goal they got, Patrick Musonda, who got in the game, shot on target, and then the goalkeeper spilled the ball, and then Yanganile had the chance to finish. To finish. Even when you look at the way the shots were taken, are they powerful to beat the goalkeeper? Or am I just shooting for the sake of shooting?
But by virtue of that formation 4-1-4-1, meaning you probably have some chance of getting runners in between the lines and probably get you some goals. And that formation produced exactly that. Between the lines, yeah, now you're dealing with professionals. They probably know we have to maintain the line. World Cup player. High level. Maintain the line, or should I go and follow Yanganile, Clement, and Yusuf Saddam? What are your overall thoughts of the tactical shape of City of Lusaka?
Looking at the way it is now, I think things are changing with City. Yes, they may lose the game at home. Mistakes are there. But looking at the new coach who was coming, yes, he has changed a few things with the same players. Sometimes you see the discipline of the players themselves is it. You may be talking about coaches, talking about you point fingers, but it's the players themselves. Where are they taking us?
Talking about discipline and becomes now a cardinal issue, because I want to show you something about the third goal that Lusaka Dynamo scored and made it 3-1. Of course, the second one, they considered a spot kick that Kope Chris Mugalo actually scored. Mugalu rather. But let's look at Mugalu's goal, the third goal, and just look at the tactical shape, because it's coming back to even something we saw during the Chikwanda era. Now, in transition, how City of Lusaka made it possible that in transition, Eric Kabulu wins the ball just on the edge of his penalty area, and is able to give one pass, and now you've got 2v1. Mungalu versus Chilima and
that
Lusambo.
Should be
Mugalu rather.
Is it not Desmond Mugalu? That should be Mugalu, Desmond his son.
We'll investigate that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, when you look at that one, defending with two defenders again, yes, Joseph Lungu likes to attack, Gerard Chikwanda likes to attack, but I'm just thinking, I don't know, maybe there's need now for Coach Hector Chilombo to actually tell them, gentlemen, when one of you goes, one of you has to sit.
You know, is it again?
You can't all go up at the same time.
Yeah.
It comes to the experience of the players in the field of play, because there is no way you can defend with two players from the back going up front. When you look at the defense shape of City of Lusaka before Lusaka Dynamos got that goal, on the other side you could even see Cletus Chota Chama was there. It would have been a 3v2, but had it not been for Mugalu to do what he did to get that goal, the City side, they had nothing to lose. It was 2-1 and time was running out. They were pushing forward to get an equalizer. That's why they ended up conceding that.
But is that forgivable in the context that, okay, we're done, we're looking for a goal, coach? That's why myself, Joseph, and Gerard Chikwanda had to go up and leave themselves vulnerable at the back like that.
It all comes to maturity. There is no way you can allow your two fullbacks going forward. If they go forward, the two of them go forward. It's now it's a job for the defensive midfielder Richard Pili to sit back and help the defenders.
But he's providing thrust at the same time.
Yes, when you look, but that's why I'm
forward thrust.
That's why I'm talking.
Does the team need that?
Yes.
So who stays? Is it Richard to cover, or it's one of the fullbacks?
You know, that's where now the tactical discipline comes in, because if players are not tactical discipline, then you will have lapses, especially in defense and in the midfield. You just tell someone to go and stand there. You are an anchor. You'll be anchoring between the strikers and the midfield, and then he doesn't know where to take the ball when he gets the ball. Can I leave it behind with the defenders, or I go in front with the strikers? So it's the tactical discipline. It's the discipline, in fact, which kills us.
Okay, let's look at the match stats. As we put finality to that game that was at the Woodland Stadium. Match starts, shall we? Okay. City of Lusaka, well, managed to get 4 shots on target. It's unfortunate they lost. 2 of those actually went in as goals. For Lusaka Dynamos, well, that is vicious efficiency. 4 on target, 3 in the back of the net, and actually beat the goalkeeper Piri. Now, in terms of crosses, City of Lusaka got 15 in compared to 9. And I look at Lusaka Dynamos as a very dangerous side when you allow them to cross the ball and probably pick Kope Mungalu. But for City of Lusaka, again, I'll ask this question again. How they play. First striker, second striker, Roy Sakwanda. They've got the likes of Benjamin Nkandauko who can actually bring in those crosses. And you've got Joseph Lungu who's bringing in those crosses. Jared Chikanda is bringing in those crosses. Does it actually say we need to find a big target man striker and forget about the silky players that help us going forward?
When you look at those crosses that they were putting in, look at the crosses mostly which were made by Gerard Chikwanda, floating balls in the 18 area, which was giving the goalkeeper the big advantage. No wonder they failed to convert them into goals. It's not just crossing for the sake of crossing. A cross has to be a pass.